Hi and welcome. My name is Janine Monique and my channel is all about transformation. It's about growth, change, and connection. And I want to have some discussions about tools that you can use and that I use to help facilitate those processes of transformation. I am a Reiki master. I use Reiki. I use crystal energy. I use chakra work. And on this channel, I will also throw in some discussion on moon phases and numerology. As a Reiki master and a light worker and an empath, I am also a real estate broker. So just to let you know, even though I walk a path as a light worker, I also have a business as a real estate broker, and I use those tools also in my business and my business relationships. So how did I come to walking this path as a light worker? I would say that I had people call it a spiritual awakening, or there was a shift for me in 2018. I went on a trip, and during that trip and the people I met and the hikes I went on and discussions I had and the sessions I did, I experienced and felt the divine life force energy. Some people call it God energy. I felt this in a real sense, and I could see it in a real sense. I also had the experience of my spirit leaving my physical body and coming back into my physical body. And with those types of experiences, it really creates a shift in how you see your life and how you see life in general. So I'm curious, have any of you watching this video, and you can leave it in the chat, have you ever had a life-changing experience that was of a spiritual sense, where you could feel and see and come in contact with the divine life force energy, or God, if you may? Although I had that experience in 2018, I think, and I pretty much know, I've been on a spiritual journey all of my life, and I've been on and off and on and off. More into my late 40s is when it really started to shift, where I started to be comfortable on that path, moving forward in my life all the time. It's something that I'm always aware of and conscious of in my everyday life. But I think as far back as when I was 5 or 6, I knew this would probably be my path. Didn't know then, but I know now, looking back, that's what it was. I went to a Baptist church with my great grandmother, and I never had Sunday school. I never was taught anything from the Bible, no stories, nothing. I was not forced to go. I wanted to go. I loved the energy in that church. And on one particular Sunday, I stood up, and you know how when they call people to the front, if you had the experience of going to an old school Baptist church, who wants to be baptized I stood up, walked to the front, and it just seemed like the most normal and natural thing. My great-grandmother was, of course, overjoyed, but she had not talked to me about this. She had not encouraged me to do this. It was like I was being called to the divine. My spirit felt so at home in that setting, that I was so young and had no knowledge of any of this really, but knew this was my path. So when I look back at that experience, I think, wow, even at that young age, I could trust my intuition and move towards, the divine life force energy, my higher self. So I find that a lot of children do have that ability to really just trust their intuition, their inner guidance. And so I look back at that experience, and then I also combine it with what happened to me in 2018. And now at the age of 50, I have the realization of what is my purpose and what is my path. And of course, it is definitely helping people connect, or if I can facilitate any kind of energy and be that channel to help other people connect to that energy, or maybe heal in some way, or even if it's just relax in some way. That is what I am also here to do. I find that I've always been on the path of being a teacher, and at one point in my life, I was a teacher for 16 years, of course, visual art. Of course, always drawn to color. Colors have a certain frequency and they emit certain energy. So I was always drawn to things that were very, very colorful, and using colorful and how that made me feel. So it took me a long time to realize how much of an empath I am and how influenced I am by other energies around me, but also learning to protect myself from other energy. So it's been quite a journey. I've become a channel for this energy through Reiki, and I've learned to connect to other energies in crystals, and using those crystals to realign the chakras, and also go about my everyday business with having the energy from crystals work with the energy in my own body. And I think with all this, the thing that I have most come to realize, and maybe a lot of people may be realizing this earlier in life, it took me, a while, but I am a spiritual being, having a human experience. I am spiritual being first. And I am really happy that I finally made that realization, or am on my true life path, purpose, calling. And just wondering, how long did it take you to get to your purpose and your calling? It may not be a spiritual calling like mine, and that's fine. Whatever your calling is, I think it's something that brings you joy. If you feel a deep joy in your soul, and you are also giving that joy to others, then more than likely that is your connection to your higher self, and that is your path. So we all come to that in different ways, and we're all here to serve in different ways. So that's a little bit about what this channel is going to be about. So you will see videos on Reiki, on crystals, on chakras, and like I said, I will throw in some information on moon phases and also some numerology. So I hope to see you again. Until the next video, love and light.